Hi everybody, this is Madhav here from the Remote Marketing Podcast, and today I'm going to talk about the importance of going remote first. And before I actually dive in, I'd like to share a story of an acquaintance who had contacted me roughly a year ago. Now, this person was a really good marketer who for his entirety of his work experience, had worked with marketing teams in an office, never had worked remotely. And he was fascinated to join a remote team. He was very interested to kind of travel the world and wanted to kind of also get some more flexibility. And so he reached out to me to get some advice. And he managed to get himself a role at a company. The only caveat was that it was a 40-person company. 39 of them were sitting in an office in Melbourne, Australia. And he was sitting all alone in Bangalore. And he was the only remote employee. So he did join the team. And 2 months later, after we had this conversation, he dropped me a message saying that I'm a little distressed. Do you think remote is always like this? Is it always supposed to be so disconnected? I was like, no, that's not the case. Maybe just give it some time. And then 6 months later, this person gives me a distress call saying that things are just not working out. He feels he's very disconnected with the team. He feels that he's not involved in the decisions. He feels not motivated. And, he just feels that he's not doing a good enough job. And another 2 months later, I get to know that he has eventually left the company. So in 9 months of joining the company as a remote team member, he finally did leave. Now, there's an important lesson to learn here, right? Which is basically all about the fact that if you've got to test out a remote marketing team, you have to ensure that the fundamentals are remote first in the company. Now, in this particular case, 39 people were in the office. All of the team meetings used to happen in a conference room, and he would join through some webcam or something. Most of the decisions were taken verbally and not on a project management software. And a bunch of things like this makes it very difficult for a remote team member to work there. Now, this would have gone very differently if the meetings between team members were necessarily done via a Zoom call. So everyone in the team had to join the team meeting through a Zoom call. Everyone sends in their daily status updates on a project management tool or a help chat or just a general team chat tool like Slack. Just these small things make a huge difference, because then if there's any communication that's happening regarding a task or a project in a particular project management software and not verbally, now the remote team member is 100% in the loop, and he'll feel he is definitely in the loop. And that's what I tell for anyone, for any company that is, let's say right now, has a team that's sitting in an office and is looking to either go partially remote or 100% remote, that you need to ensure that your processes are remote first for this to even work out. And the processes for remote first don't come from the employees, but actually comes from the leadership team. So unless the CEO and the rest of the leadership team isn't really pushing that, if there's any work if there's any task communication, instead of you coming to my room and telling me about it, you need to drop that as a message in a project management app. If you have to host a meeting, we don't do it abruptly. We are going to schedule it and do it on a Zoom call. If you were to kind of keep reminding your team members about that, that builds a remote first work culture. Now, that's the thing I also told another guy who reached out to me a couple of weeks back. This particular person runs a development firm based in Singapore, and his team is 80 people, all sitting in the Singapore office. But because of talent reasons and operational reasons, he wants to explore the remote aspect of making his team go slowly remote. So he's starting out by hiring, remote team members in Europe. But I can tell you for a fact that if he was to not change the fundamental way of how the team operates, how the processes are kind of set up, if they hire remote workers in Europe, and if the team is entirely based in Singapore, that's not going to work out, because it's going to be the same issue that the marketer who was sitting in Bangalore had. And so that's why I keep, my advice to you is this in particular. If you have a team that is sitting in an office and you're looking to go partially remote, or if you're looking to go 100% remote, you need to make your processes remote first. And remote first can mean a bunch of things. I can give you a ton of examples. So for example, what I said earlier, meetings can happen on a video chat, so Google Hangouts or Zoom or Skype, whatever is your software choice or whatever. And then all task communication needs to happen via a project management software. I've already said that. You need to ensure that team members in the office and the remote team members have a good camaraderie. And for that specifically, I can share an idea. One of the things that we do in our company is that every Tuesday, right after the team meeting, we pair 3 random team members for a 20-minute call about non-work stuff. Usually there's always a question like, who's your dream dinner guest? What is the best piece of career advice you've been given? What podcasts are you listening to? And when you have that kind of team bonding, that is what really helps in kind of building that culture. Now, remote first can also mean a lot of other things, which I will explain in the coming days. It also means that team members need to be really good at communicating, or I'd say over communicating things. And that's my advice for you. If you are looking to go to being a partially remote team from an in-person team 100%, or going 100% remote, go remote first and make sure that the leadership is pushing for it. This needs to be pushed again and again and again. You will see team members that will falter from remote first processes, but this needs to be repeated again and again and again. All right. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have anything to add, please drop me an email on madhav@remotemarketing.org, and see you in the next episode.